Ma'am, very good evening. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. Ma'am, I'm not able to hear you.
I have unmuted myself. Can you hear me?
Yes. Perfect. Ma'am, we'll wait for 5 minutes. I think so. Yashwant sir is also joining, and there are many participants who are yet to join. And we'll start at 5 minutes to 5 something.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Shall we start?
Yes, sir. Let us start. Dear members, very good evening to all of you and the dignitaries present over here. The speaker for this session, CA Praveena Oswal ma'am, and past chairman of Pune branch and current regional council member of Western India Regional Council, CA Yashwant Kasar sir. I, CA Karan Chandwani, on behalf of Pune branch of ICAI, welcome all of you to this live webinar series for young members, and today is the fourth day. Thank you so much for the great participation and active participation, I would say rather. I hosted even day before yesterday's session, so we had almost 200 members over there, and we had a very good interactive session there also. Before moving ahead with introducing our speaker for the day, I would request Yashwant sir, please give the opening remarks. Sir, over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Karan. And good evening to all my dear CA friends, CA colleagues. This is Young Members Program. So all young CAs are here. I also see some seniors are here. Although they are not young by age, but they are young by heart because they have still passion to learn new things. So good evening to all of you. Friends, this series, this initiative of Pune branch is really commendable because all of us are witnessing these changing times, how the scenario is changing, and so is the role of professionals. This year at WIRC also, we have chosen the theme of BOLD, B-O-L-D, bold. I would say that will be the apt theme for the chartered accountancy profession this year. That BOLD stands for acronym of four areas where we must work on. The first B stands for brace the change. Friends, change is the only thing which is constant in this world, and the CA profession, since its inception, has undergone a lot of changes. 30-40 years back, we were just chartered accountant, means an accountant or auditor who is doing accounting and auditing job. Then came the tax audit, and then we moved to the taxation to a large extent. And then today we are witnessing the time when everything is system oriented, technology is taking over each and every compliance. So the role is totally changed. Now the expectations of the society from CA are different than 10 or 20 years back. So the first change happened, that is technology changed everything. The role of CA changed, and then the expectations also changed. So it's our duty or it's our responsibility to change our areas or practice and to enter into new areas of practice so that we should be relevant professionals and we should be future ready. Then the O stands for organize. We need to organize ourselves, our skill set. I would say this is a time that we must work on our practice. As a chartered accountant, we often work in our practice. We do our day-to-day work or compliance work, advisory, everything we are doing day in, day out. But very rarely we get time to work on our practice. But this is the time I would say we must focus on working on our practice and choose the areas that we need to specialize in, because these are the days of specialization. At the same time, we must work on our skill set. We must sharpen our skill set and learn new things. So in order to become the relevant. And the same then comes the L, learning. Yes, I would say it always say that we must learn some things, then we must de-learn few things and relearn again. But I would say along with that, we must pre-learn, pre-learn few things, so that we will get the early entrant advantage. Whenever new area is coming, if you are pre-learning that area, then you will get that initial advantage of that pre-learning. So that is the area. And then if we work on all these areas, then definitely our delivery, delivery will be qualitative delivery and consistent delivery, and which will match the expectations of the society. So in this scenario, I would say whatever may be the change that may happen, whatever the technology change, but one thing is clear, when there will be machine learning, or I would say robotic processing, but ultimately some professionals are required to check whether those automated systems are processing data correctly or not, whether they are giving the results they are expected or not. Because the systems, if you feed the wrong data, they will process the wrong output. That is the limitation of the system. That's where the skeptical mind of CA, or I would say analytical mind of CA, has the advantage. And we are the best professional to suit all the scenarios. And gone are the times when the industry was looking at CA only to be the managing only taxation or financial affairs and only to be a CFO. But nowadays, they want CEOs out of CAs. So that is the role of CA which is changing. And on this background, this today's webinar is on startups. And that would be really one of the good topic to learn about, because all of us know that our government started 4 or 5 years back these startup initiatives, Make in India initiatives, and under startup initiatives, many entities were formed, and some are enjoying the benefits of those startup initiatives. But as a professional, we must know what are the peculiar things, or what are the intricacies of that, all the initiatives of the government. Briefly to discuss about the role of CA starts right from the incorporating any startup, whether to choose which format, whether to go for partnership, LLP, or a company, and then comes the funding, then comes the day-to-day operations, and after at the end also these startups, they always say only 10% startups they leave, and 90% startup they close down. So for closure of startups also CA's services are required. So from setting up the startup till its closure or till its growth or revival, everywhere CA's services are required, and C is the best suited professional to guide them. On that background, this topic is really wonderful. And just before the session, I was discussing with Praveena ma'am. She has told me that in last 7-8 months, around 50,000 new startups, they got registered. And before that, in 4 years, around 70,000 or 80,000 startups were there. So we can understand what is the speed at which startups are being formed, and what is the opportunity lies there for CA as a professional. So friends, without taking much time, I wish all of you happy learning, learn new things, because these that is the only, if we want to survive, if we want to grow, I would say survival you can get in traditional practice also, that is not the issue. But if you want to grow, you must enter into newer areas of practice. So I wish all of you happy learning. Over to you, Karan.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Let me now introduce the speaker for today, CA Praveena Oswal ma'am. She's having a experience in practice since last 16 years in the areas of direct and indirect taxation, project report preparation, and subsidies. She practices in the capacity of a proprietor at Y in Satara. She has also conducted various double entry accounting system consulting assignments for various municipal corporations as per the National Municipal Accounts Manual. Apart from this, she has also a very good experience in bank audits like computer audits, income expenditure audits, quality reviews, quarterly review audits, also concurrent audits, and so on. Apart from this, she's also connected with various local colleges for career counseling sessions, personality development session, entrepreneurship development. One more thing is that she is connected with District Industry Center, Satara, for entrepreneurship development program, basically kind of a mentorship program, I think so. Ma'am will be able to brief us about it later on. And apart from this, she is continuously involved in various social activities, working with Bharat Vikas Parishad of Y branch as treasurer, and has conducted various activities in that capacity. Apart from this recent development, she has also contributed for the research work, and she has prepared a research report on the topic analysis and evaluation of Indian startups in non-metropolitan and selected metropolitan areas, an untold story. And this is published by ICAI in the month of February 2021, a very recent development. With this, I would request Praveena ma'am to start the session. Ma'am, over to you.
Good evening, everyone. This is very exciting. I am very exciting to share my experience with you all because I am very fascinating with this topic. When I started my research, I want to know how startup is working because previously there is a fairy tales, but now there is startup stories which encourage young students of India. Because if you ask college students what you want to do, then every engineering student will say, I want to innovate. I want to start my startup and I will grow a company and become billionaire in 3-4 years. For commerce students also, there are various opportunities. And as a CA, we are connected with every stream of businesses and industries. We know from start to end how business starts and how it grows and how it closes down also. So I chooses this topic. And I know as an CA, we provide various services, but today's selected topic, emerging opportunities for CA, because as a consultant, we have opportunities, but as a part of startup, the other side also we can contribute and become the part of startup success stories and become the millionaire and billionaires. Because many CA, when I studied this, I come to know that many CAs are providing services to the startups. And when there is a funding requirement, through their family ventures, they have contributed or funded to the startups and taken some small share. And when the startup grows up, it becomes successful, they got the return 10 to 20 times of their investment. So CAs can be both sides of the startups. So let us start with the PPT. In the beginning, we will start with the theoretical part. We will see the definition, the Startup India program, the various stakeholders, the current status, some of successful stories, and they will go towards the opportunities available to the CA. So I will start my PPT. Can you able to see my screen?
Ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Today's topic is startup and emerging opportunity for the CA. We have discussed what we are going to cover today. This is a picture which shows the every part of the startup ecosystem and which we want to be part. Okay. There are two types of entrepreneurship, small and medium enterprises. That is routine business we are doing, and we are doing it for the profit. From the beginning, our goal is how we will reduce our cost, how we'll decide the margin, and how we'll earn good profits. But now there comes another concept, that is innovation-driven entrepreneurship. In this type of entrepreneurship, lot of money is burned initially, and there is nothing wrong because you are entering new business, you are bringing disruption in the market, and then you are creating huge customer base, and then you are making huge money also. So innovation-driven entrepreneurship is a new buzz in the market. In India, it comes little late, but in America during 2001, when there is a problem with the computer system, many businesses closed down and many new businesses have started. Same with when in 2008, there is economic recession in the society. The nature of business changed tremendously. Many new businesses come like Airbnb and etc., which give birth to the various totally new business system, new products, new services, and new processes. Startup acts as a catalyst for the social economic development of the country. Startups are very ambitious. They bring innovation in the society. They increases employment, productivity, growth, also country. Startup is defined as, this startup definition I have taken from the Startup India program, which is given by our PM in January 2016. An entity incorporated or registered in India not prior to 10 years, with annual turnover not exceeding 100 crore in any preceding financial year, working towards innovation, development, deployment, commercialization of new product, process, services driven by technology and intellectual property. The startup should be started not less than 10 years. When the startup go for registration in 2021, it should be started after 2011. Any company business started before that cannot be registered as startup for the benefit of the Startup India program given by the Government of India. Now, as said by Kasar sir, the number of startups are increased tremendously, and it will grow, see exponential growth in the coming years. In 2008, the number of startups were 7,000 only. But after the Startup India program was launched by Government of India in 2016, the number of startups increases to 80,000 till 2019. And in 2020 itself, after lockdown, when people have lost so many jobs, their businesses were closed down, there were no sources for earnings, they started thinking new ideas, and with the help of innovation and technology, they launched new startups. So the number of startups increases around 50,000 during last 8 months in lockdown. Out of these registered startups, less than 30% startups are recognized as startups, which can get the benefits of the Startup India programs given by the Government of India. Now the digital revolution has power to change the life of the people, and especially rural people in India. In rural areas, more than 75% people stays in rural areas. So after digitization, new roads are available, internet facilities available. So all facilities are available in rural India, and people from the rural, entrepreneurs from the rural areas also can now start venturing in these new areas. As discussed, for taking benefits of the Startup India program, it should be fulfill the conditions given by the Startup India program. Then only it can get funding from the government and benefits of other government schemes. This program is overseen by the department under Ministry of the Commerce, Government of India, which is named as DPIIT, that is Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. The age of the startup entity. As I said, for the registration of Startup India program, the company or entity should not be started before 10 years at the date of registration. The second, entity type. For taking the benefit of this program, you must be a private limited company or limited liability partnership or a partnership firm. Proprietorship are not eligible for the benefit of this program. And it is obvious, as you are taking funding and you are giving shares, if you are a partnership firm or a company, then only you can give the shares. So the legal entity type should be private limited company, LLP or partnership firm. The annual turnover of company entity should be less than 100 crore. If it is more than 100 crore, and it will go out of startup benefits given by the Startup India program. Because to encourage the small businesses, the government has given this program. So for that purpose, the turnover during previous financial year should be less than 100 crore. Previously, this limit was 25 crores, but after 1st April 2021, this limit has been increased to 100 crores. It should be original entity. if you are doing a business or start company, you are already having company, and you are started subsidiary company or splitting existing company, you have formed the new company, then it is not eligible for the benefit of the Startup India program. And the business of the company should be innovative and scalable. It should make use of technology. It should be scalable. It should spread all over the India, and the customer base, a customer from any part of the India should have receive the benefits of your product or your services. So how many types of startups there? We just know the term startup, but by the nature of the business or the nature of activity they are doing, we can divide in these startups into following types. Small business startups, small businesses, they use technology to increase their business or keep the record of the business. These are called small business startups. They are not having purpose to scale up or expand or take funding. They may mostly bootstrapped or funded from own funds or friends or relatives. Then scalable startups. From the initial itself, these startups is the motive to scale the business. So they want to bring disruption in the society, change in the products, change in the services, change in the processes. They want to increase their services or give their services, supply their products all over India or all over world. This type of startups are called scalable startups. Then viable startups. Mostly some startups have started with the idea that they will build some product with the technology and sell this startup to the another company or startup and take the exit with nice profit margin. These are viable startups. So many founders have doing this business with their technology, their skills. They built a product, their team built a product, build some basic customer base, and then sell this business to the another startup and take exit. Then they may start another startups. Then large company startups. Many companies, when they increase their business, they move out of startups. They become big companies. They bring their IPOs. Their business is already expanding over the world. But to sustain in the markets, they have to bring new innovations, new technologies. They take over various startups. Like Walmart has taken Indian startup Flipkart. Because to sustain in the market, they have to grow big. For that purpose, they have to make innovation and take the existing startups and expand their existing customer base. Then there are social startups. These startups are not for making profit, but solving the problem of the public, providing services or products to the needy person. These type of startups are called social startups. When we use YouTube, we many times saw the demand or request for the fund. There is fund for the operation or hospitalization or education of kids, or if any social organization is doing certain business or certain thing for the social good, then they request and raise funds by crowdfunding. These type of startups are social startups. Generally, when we think of the startup, we imagine the offices or the person, the team sit in the round table doing various innovation, various discussion, working day and night. These pictures depicted that. So who can start a startup? Generally, we think that person with the technology or who can innovate certain things can start a startup, but it is not. The person who is having passion, he can start a startup. Passion means he want to see some problems and want to solve that problems. So he can analyze the problems, think of the solution, build up the team, and in that way he can start the startup. Then the person having technological background builds the product or do coding and make some software or app and then with co-founders, he can start the startup. Then also the person having idea can build the team with the technology and marketing people and start the startup. Okay. Now we have seen that startup should be the Startup India program is given by our PM, and for that purpose, startup should be recognized by DPIIT. Then what is the advantage of being recognized by DPIIT? There are various advantages. First is patent and IPR norms. Nowadays, technology changes so fast, and the same idea may came in many minds. So if your idea you have not patented and intellectual property is not restricted, then your competitor can copy that idea, bring the product, get the funding, and may disrupt your business itself. So whenever you get new idea, new process, new product, you should patent it. And for that purpose, Startup India programs and its experts and its departments help you to patent your product. Then startups get the tax exemption under Section 80 IAC. As I said, from 1st April 2021, if you have profit in any consecutive 3 years, you can take 100% tax exemption. This exemption is given because startups have to burn initially money and they are not making profits. So, or they have to raise the funds. Many fund is required to expand it on exponential basis. So to avail the funds of it from its profit, the government has given the 100% tax exemption. It is available for 3 years out of 10 years. It can be any consecutive 3 years, but it should be consecutive. Then tax exemption for external investors. Without external funding, startup cannot grow because initially it has to invest in technology, making customer base. So to encourage people investing in startups, government has given exemption under Section 56(2) 7B. This exemption is given to angel investment fund, that is the fund which has invested in startups and at premium, and when they take exit and earn profits, the investor who has funds in the AIF will have to tax and not the fund will get taxed. So if the AIF members are external investors out of India and they will earn profit, and if it is not taxable in India, then the profit will be totally exempt in their hand. As we said, the startups are company or LLP, and there are 90% failure in the startups. There are many reasons due to lack of fundings, or the technology is absolute or competition, or it is scale not very fast. Then it provides easy winding up of the company. So the expenditure of winding up is less and it can be winded up easily within 90 days. Another benefit is easier public procurement. The government is taking services and products from many companies. If it has invited tenders for the goods or services, then it gives preference to the startups registered under DPIIT. And they are having condition for the experience or the turnover, etc. But these all conditions are or given exemption for the startups. So startups can provide services to the government and do their businesses. These are some of the advantages available to the startups which are registered under Startup India program. Now the startup means not only the founder, there is complete startup ecosystem. And this ecosystem, we have see how what are number of startups or what are the credential of this startup ecosystem in India. This program is launched by PM on 16th January 2016, and It has given 19 action points. Since the starting of this initiative, 41,000 startups are registered, recognized by the government of India. The number of startup registered are 1,30,000, but the recognized startup are 41,000 only. Then over 28 states and 9 union territories, these startups are situated in 565 districts. As we said, or we want that India should be Atmanirbhar. The businesses should start at the place where people live and not the metro cities. So this program with the technology, with the innovation, these businesses are spread all over the India. And this startup has created 2.9 lakhs jobs across the country, 45% of which are from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Okay, we will take question and answers session at the end of this session. Now, the number of startups in India are growing very fast. It is now the third largest number of startups are in India after the US and China. It is proud that for every hour, 4 startups are starting their businesses and making registration on the Startup India program. The number of startups are we have third in the number of startups list, and number of unicorns are also increasing. Unicorns means 100 crore dollar startups, 1 billion crore startup. When the startup reach the level of 1 billion, it is called unicorn, and number of unicorn startups are 32 for India as of now, and it is increasing very fast. Okay, the average age of the founder of the startup is 31 years. That is, many young people are coming in this industry. The number of unicorns are 32, and it has raised $50 billion funding during the initial 2014 to 2019. And it is very proud that 43% of total startups in India have 1 or more women directors. Generally, in any area of businesses, number of women are very less, but in startup industry, it is much more than any other industry. It is 43%. The leading sectors in Indian startup ecosystem are fintech, which is providing financial services, then enterprises, health tech. Health tech increases tremendously during this lockdown and pandemic. Then e-commerce and logistics. This data is taken from the startup ranking report published by DPIIT. This is basic statistics of the startup ecosystem of India. As I said, number of startups. This data is from when I am preparing this PPT, that is on 2nd March 2021. Number of startups are 1,32,161 and DPIIT recognized are 44,000. Then there are other stakeholders of ecosystem, mentors, investors, accelerators, incubators, and government bodies. The number are quite good for the Maharashtra. As we can see, 23,320 startup registered on Startup India website are from Maharashtra, and number of from Mumbai is 7,200, and for Pune it is 6,200. This is very good picture and good hope for Punekars. Hope from the parties, I think from participants, many are from Pune. So where you live, there are around 6,291 startups registered. And out of that, DPIIT registered are 2,432. There are 45 mentors who have registered themselves on the Startup of India website, which are available for startups to start their businesses and guide them. 2 investors are registered, but the number of investors are more from Mumbai and less from Pune. It should be increased. Then accelerators, which helps the startups to scale up. The total number for India is 156. Out of that, 35 are from Maharashtra, 27 from Mumbai, and 6 from Pune. Then incubators are 696. For India, 42 for Bangalore, 67 for Maharashtra, 29 from Mumbai and from Pune, 1. There are government bodies which help to start the startups. These are total 57 for all India, 7 for Maharashtra, and 1 from Pune. This is basic statistics. I share these statistics with you people that you should know that where you live around there are these startups are available, and I don't know whether you are aware of them or you have interacted with them or you know. Now after knowing these numbers, I am sure that you definitely want to know who are these startups and what businesses or services they are providing and how they are doing. And this is opportunity for you also. Next slide. As I said, there are startup ecosystem, and when there is an ecosystem, there are players or stakeholders. For startup, funding is very important. So first off, we'll see the funding organizations. The startup are funded by the own funds, that is savings of the founders, then from the family and friends. It is called, when the startup use both these funding, it is called bootstrap startups. Then for incubation or startup at very early stage, there are angel investors and venture capitalists. Because at early stage, it is very risky to fund these startups, but the capital requirement is very less. And these angel investors or venture capitalists also provide the other facilities also. Then incubators or accelerators. Generally, incubators are government bodies, or it is attached to college and universities, and they are funded by the government. Because incubation, that is for idea to a prototype or product, it has to be provide a very protected environment, and it has to be nurtured. For that purpose, incubation centers are attached to the universities and college where there are young people. Entrepreneurs or founders from general public also can take facilities provided by these incubators and accelerators. Then various government subsidies are provided for these startups. These schemes are same like MSME schemes and subsidies which are available. So startups can take the benefit of these subsidies. Crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is very small amount is raised from individual, and as the number of funding people are more, the amount collected is a handsome amount. Then banks provide loan to these startups, then venture debts or IPOs, etc., and internal financing. When startups start earning revenue, its profit becomes its own source of capital for the further expansion. Then there are supporting organizations, incubators, accelerators, and mentors. Startup incubation is a program designed to help new startups to succeed. The sole purpose of startup incubation is to help entrepreneurs grow their businesses. As I said, during the incubation period, it has to be provided very protective environment. They have to mentor, they have to nurture. So this incubation center plays a very important role. Generally, this incubation are non-profit organizations and run by both public and private entities. They help startup companies to provide services, that is management training, office space, co-working space, etc. Pune University is having incubation center. Even Satara YC College is having incubation center. This incubation center, they are providing basic facilities like internet, sitting space, and basic office amenities are provided by these startups. And they are providing also mentoring facilities. They are providing various sessions of experts so that you can keep motivating yourself. Then accelerator. Startup accelerators are also known as seed accelerators, and they are providing cohort-based programs. That include mentorship and educational components, and provide pitch events where you can present your ideas after their initial development and prototype. Then there are mentors. Mentors are necessary for the startups because it is very risky to innovate and invent a new product or new service or new product prototype. There are many rejections. So mentors are necessary to understand the process and to cope up with these rejections and to again stand up and to make the changes in your products, to make changes in your services. Mentors are very necessary for these startups. These mentors may be from your networks or professional groups. Even the person having existing startups can be your mentor because he is already having the experience. So he provide mentorship and he guide you through the overall process, how to develop your product, how to pitch deck, how to present your ideas, how to raise fund, what kind of fund should be raised, etc. All these can be guided by a mentor. And then incubation and accelerator programs can also provide the mentorship. Many colleges or universities having incubation centers provide the mentorship program. They have tie-up and collaboration with various industry experts, and they provide their facilities to these startups to develop their products and to market it. Then Startup India program or Startup India website is also having mentorship program, which is a fixed duration program which explains every step of starting a startup and scaling it up, funding, etc. And various expert lectures and expert advice is available through these programs. Nowadays, online mentorship is also available on YouTube. Many speakers or mentors are providing free advices to you, and then if it suits you, then you can take their mentorship program. One of them is the Ankur Warikoo. This is the very recent, within this lockdown, he started this program, and he is one of the co-founder of Nearby.com. Then research institute. The universities are having research institutes itself, or many companies also having research institute. They are part of ecosystem because through this research institute, they provide help to start up, to innovate their product, to scale up their product, to check their product and validate their idea. Obviously, for any product, there should be market, and the market is local or global market. There is no limit for startups to sell their products. All the world is their market. Then obviously the service providers like we, the legal professionals, the financial experts who help them to comply with the rules and regulations, other formalities, taxation matters, and software providers or internet service providers. All these are service providers and are the part of the ecosystem of startups. This is interesting event for the startup, pitch deck. Like the startups prepare their product, and on the pitch day, they have to present to the investor. And if you get, they click your idea, then you will get the funding. It is like the exam day for which you prepare whole year. And after this exam, you will get if you get funding, you are passed. Otherwise, you have to give another exam. As central government is for the development of startup ecosystem, has ranking the states according to the startup policies and startup ecosystem available in that state. The report of 2018-19 is available, 2020 is not available. For that purpose, they have given 19 action point plan to each state on the 7 pillars. Framework is given. For that purpose, they have to, each state have its startup policy and implementation. They have policies for the incubation supports, how they are going to give. Then how they are providing seed funds, how angel and venture funding support is available to the startup in each state, how the regulations are simplified. Generally, startup has to comply with various rules and regulations and various different laws. But for startup, many government has simplified and make a single window. The Gujarat government is ahead in that. It has provided single window system for startup through which they don't have to make separate applications under various laws. From a single window or single office or single system only, they can comply various laws. Then ease of public procurement and how the government spread awareness of the startups among the public or entrepreneurs in their state. These are 7 pillars on which it has ranked the states. In 2019 ranking, 22 states and 3 union territories have participated. And it is a very interesting fact that which states have implemented this startup program successfully. The number of startups are far more compared to other states which have not implemented these programs. This is the picture. We can see the Maharashtra has scored 7 out of 10, and the number of startups in Maharashtra more than compared to other states. In Andhra, the number of it is very poor in implementing the policies, so number of startups are less. But this picture is changing. Every state now become aware about the importance of startups, and they are implementing startup policies very rigorously. Now the interesting part. We have know everything about the startup ecosystem, how they get funding or what are the startups, how they're doing. Now the steps for starting the startup, how you are going to start a startup. Many people thought that it starts from the idea or a vision, but no, it is wrong. What is missing in the world, what is problem of the society is the basis for the start of the startup. If there is a problem or gap in the society and your idea or vision will fill that gap, will provide solution to that startup, then only your startup will get and kickstart. So first step is what is missing in the world. You have to do thorough study for that purpose. Then you have to search or invent for idea for that purpose. Then with your idea, bring out the solution, make the prototype of it, showcase that prototype to ask for the advice. Don't ask the advice to your friends or relatives because they are your friends or relatives, and to encourage you, they may tell you that your idea is good or it may work. But when you go in actual market, no one is ready to pay for your idea, then it will be failed. And it is the main reason for the failure of the startup. So you have to show it to the experts, mentors, your product and ask for their advice. Then as per their advice and remarks, remold your types, remold your prototype, make corrections, and again make improvement. Then search for the co-founders. Why co-founders are important, or for many startups there are co-founders only. Is it necessary to you must have co-founders? Then there is a matrix for calculation of should you have co-founder or not. There is a expert or must have theme in the startup ecosystem, and if it is provided by you yourself, then there is no need of co-founder because the idea is yours, the technology is yours. You can take the help of the people who are doing marketing for that product or building the product for you. Then there is no need for co-founder. But if you are having only idea and not technology, then you have searched for the co-founder. The co-founder should not be people who think like you only, because then you both think in the same way for same situation, maybe same solution is provided, but if the co-founder should be the person who think different than you. So for any solution, you have two, for any problems, you have two solutions. And out of that, you can choose the best one. So co-founder should be the expert in the field other than the field in which you are the expert. Then after getting co-founder, register your entity, that is you partnership firm or LLP or privately limited company. After registering your entity, starting or developing your basic product, now you have to pitch your startup and look for the funding, because initially you have sell your product or idea to 100 or 1,000 customers. But when you have to take to the whole country or whole world, you have to have technology and guidance and mentor and funding. For that purpose, you have to pitch your startup and ask for the funding. Now the mentor, or you should take funding from the such people only who are having expertise in helping the startups or promoting the startups. Because there are many ups and downs, many rejections, and in that situation, these people push you, hold you up, help you up, and also help you to raise further funding. Then go live, do proper marketing. Once your product is properly built, then go for marketing. And you have to do rigorous marketing, because you have to scale up fast. For that purpose, you have to reach people very fast. Like I think everyone have saw the ad of Junior Hat, that is coding startup, which is providing coding, which teaches coding solution to the people. And many celebrities are showing that they are teaching their kids the coding, and they become successful overnight. Though leave the hype of that ad, but like this, the startup has to reach everywhere and start to build the customer base very fast. Then get in touch with the users and ask their opinion. It is very necessary whenever you are selling product, you have to get the feedback from that, because to make the improvement, to remove the flaws is a continuous process, and through that process only you can sustain in the market. If you get opinion from the people, get feedback, and then you can make changes in your product and improve your services. Build an initial milestone. Then when you get a sufficient level, when you are making profit, then it's time to scale up. Scale up is very necessary, because as to sustain in the market, you have to scale up, because otherwise the competitors come and may kick you down from the market. So you have to scale up. For that purpose, then there are further round of funding. Then keep growing, keep building your innovations. If there are other giants in the same product and they are ready to take your product, then sell it for exit, sell it for profit and take exit. Like Flipkart has take exit by selling its startup to Walmart. And then they have built up the Udaan, which is also now the unicorn. Otherwise, go for IPO, like Facebook. It has started, it has built your product, it has scaled up. Now it has taken WhatsApp and many other startups it's taking, and it has started its IPO. This is the pictorial of the steps of startups. Now we have seen that how to start a startup. We have seen the steps. Now the two basic things. For every businesses, there should be business model and revenue model. Business model means how it is going to do the business, how what services or products or process the startup is following and providing its services. That is a business model. Most of at the initial stage itself, startup should know its business model, how it is going to build a business. Are it going to provide a software as a service? Like PayPal, etc. They are providing software as a service. Their startup is people are using their softwares and paying them a certain amount for the services they are using of that startup. Then there is a marketplace. Marketplace where you provide platform to the startup. Startups sell their products, sell their services through your platform, and you get certain amount. Then there is a e-commerce platform. E-commerce, we know everyone. They are providing platform to the startup for selling their products. Then on-demand. Netflix is an on-demand startup. That is on-demand. There are various facilities available, and people can use facilities and pay for that facilities. Then sharing or circular economy. Like Ola, Uber, they are sharing economy. That is, a platform is created. They are not having their own assets, but the fixed asset owner are providing services through your platform, and for that purpose, the platform is getting certain amount. Then Inventory Light. Inventory Light is a platform where the startup is not keeping its own inventory. Like Alibaba, it is not having its own inventory, but it is doing turnover of crores of rupees, because the inventory is having with the vendor. When the demand is created or customer demand anything, book any order, then the vendor supply from his warehouse to the customer, and the platform is taking certain amount of that money as it's earning. It's business model. So at the initial stage itself, the startup should know its business model. And in this, the CS can help. What should be the business model of the startup? Then the revenue model. After deciding what you are going to provide, how you are going to earn, or how you are going to earn the income or revenue. Direct sale. You have created platform, you are selling your own product and you are getting money. That is direct sale. Then you have provided marketplace, you have provided platform, vendors are providing services through your platform, and for that purpose you are getting commission. That is another revenue model. Third is subscription, membership plan, or recurring. Like Netflix, they are having subscription and fixed monthly membership, which you get the platform or the startup get revenue, and through advertisement. Like Google, Facebook, they are earning from the advertisement. They provide free services for everything else, and then earn their income from the advertisement. As I said, startup should be clear about their business model and revenue model, and CS play a very vital role in execution of business model and revenue model of any startup. We have gone through the every important aspects of the startup. Then this is the why the startups fail. As we said, 90% of the startups failed. But what are the reasons? The startup are started with the innovative ideas, and the people should convinced with the new idea and new vision. Otherwise, your startup will be failed. Generally, the startup is ahead of time. As Facebook is started, it had created a platform for social media, and after that, now the Instagram has come. But if Instagram has come before the Facebook, then it may not be successful, because through Facebook, stage by stage, startup provide their ideas and people get convinced with that ideas, and next innovation in that idea will be successful. Then with time management, startup should be started at right time. Many times the startup started thinking ahead of time, as electrical car. the Tesla had incurred huge losses in the initial people because electric vehicle or driverless car, this idea is not digested by many people, even by car manufacturing companies. So initially, it is very loss-making business. But after when the product is developed, it showed demo to the people, and then they get convinced that yes, it is possible. But for that purpose, it has to raise funding. Initially, Tesla has got funding from the government of America, but after people make rejection or take objections that government is wasting its money, then Tesla, Elon Musk has raised from the funds from the market and repay the amount taken from the government of America. Like that, startup has to sustain in this crucial period and have to sustain during this time. Otherwise, it may get failed. Do proper homework. They have to understand the customer needs, choice preferences, and time of their requirement. What product or services you are providing? Are customers ready to pay for them, or only they admire and will not pay or want to buy your product? Then your startup may get failed. The Tesla or many companies are providing electric vehicle. And if you also thought that you will invent an electrical vehicle, but cost of manufacturing your vehicle, the facilities, features providing your vehicle, and the vehicle available from the existing established company, there are too much difference, then your vehicle may not get success, because though it is innovative, there is much price difference between that, and you are not having that facility to market it. So you have to collaborate with your technology with existing companies to manufacture that. The role of angel investor, venture capitalist, private investor is very crucial. Without taking the help of co-founders or these experts, your business may not sustain. If you think that I will not share my profits, I will not share my stake, I will not give mistake in my company with anyone, and I will not take the help of angel investors or mentors, then your this is one of the reason for the failure of the startup, because you are not giving expertise and network. Network is very necessary for the success of the startup. Highly skilled staff is a major reason of the failure. Initially, startups are not have fund to pay for these highly skilled people. There is one of the experience shared by the owner of the policy, co-founder of the PolicyBazaar.com, Yashish. He said that initially he hired the skilled staff for the salary less than their existing salary, and people are ready to work with him with reduced salary also, because they are impressed by his idea and disruption he is going to bring in the policy market, insurance market. Like that, you are also successful in bringing highly skilled people for your startups. Otherwise, your startup may not sustain. The staffing is very important. The investors also invest in your company after they are satisfied with the co-founders or management team you are having, because only idea is not sustainable. How you execute that idea and what resources you are available to execute that idea is very important. Non-adoption of new technology, new idea, new markets stops the growth of the startup. With the information technology, digitization, the market is changing very fast. The technology is changing very fast. Artificial intelligence analysis, big data, now cryptocurrency, blockchain. This concept should be adopted by the startups very fast. Otherwise, new companies with this concept, these facilities, this technology will kick the existing startup out of the market. Startup should do risk management, have the plans for uncertainties and volatility in the market. Startup should be on it fit every time or every minute, because as the startup market is all over the world, the startup from any corner of the world is your competitor with his service, with his product on internet and website. He will provide better services, he will provide better product, and your startup, you will lose your customers, you will lose your revenue, you will lose your profits, and you will go out of the market. So risk management, and you have to ready for the uncertainties and volatilities in the market. Till now we have seen the startup market generally for every entrepreneur, how they work, how they start. Now the opportunities for the CAs. As I said, CAs can be on the either side of the system. They can provide various services to the startup, or they can start its own startup. The various services which are going to be provided by the CAs to the startups are, they can help with the legal compliances, they can provide management consultancy, they can do accounting and auditing of the startups, they can help them to raise funding, what kind of funding they should be provided, should startup raise capital by preferential shares or debentures or convertible debentures or convertible bonds. All these advices are provided by the CAs. Then obviously with the tax compliances, the CAs should provide startup help for taking tax exemptions and various other facilities available to them by the government of India. And also CA can provide mentorship to the startups. There is one interesting case when I come to the study of the startups. When providing services to the startups, some of the CA are impressed by the services, products of the startups, and they see the growth potential in the startups, and they itself through their families, family businesses or family companies or family entities invested in the startups, and for non-audit services, they are taking a bigger share in their startups. And when these startups scale up, their profits and their earnings also scale up very fast. And other CA can start their own startups. Excuse me. CAs are expert in the finance field. Personal finance is growing very fast, and none other than who can understand the finance like CAs. So they can provide services to the society by starting own startups with fintech services. Like many CAs are having startups providing services in field of investment in shares in mutual funds, like CA Rachna Ranade from the Pune. She is having YouTube channel on which she provides consultancy about investment in shares, and for which she is having program for monthly subscription, for which she is providing premium videos. This is known example to the Punekars. Then education technology. CAs are already in education. They are providing coaching to the CA students, and now with help of technology, they can provide education facilities to the students all over India or all over world, because we understand accounts and finance very deeply. We understand it, and we are expert in teaching these to other peoples also. So we can start startup in education technology, then content curation. Already many startups are working in the facility in these fields. So you can start your startups which guide people to which startup facility you can use. This is also the new area in which a CA can start startup. Then agriculture technology. Now what CA can do in agriculture. But remember friends, our 50% economy is on agriculture, and agriculture is underutilized. There is now in future our GDP, agriculture will grow a major role in GDP, because it is going to multiply its product very fast. And in that case, agriculture, organic product, are in demand, and with help of technology, with help of startup, this agriculture produce can be supplied all over India or all over world. And there is much scope for CA to provide these services to the agripreneurs, because they are not much aware about the finance, the funding, the marketing. So CS can guide them or be part of these startups. Then the gaming industry, CA also can help them startups which are in gaming industry, because they can handle the founder or the startup promoter who are expert in technology can start his business, but CA can look over the other part of the startup. As I said, the boom in the startup economy has caught the attention of chartered accountants. Some of are seeking an equity stake for non-audit services they offer. Most of such investment are made through the family offices of CAs and tax advisors. These advisors provide a complete non-business support to the startup, from making business plan, having compliance with the corporate laws, designing ESOPs for their documentation, for agreements with various stakeholders, for fundraising, to angel round, etc. This is providing win-win situation to both the startups and the investors also. While startup get all the services, including ideation on technological ground, incubation and mentoring, the investing CA can see the upside of investment if the startups make it big. Most of the time, techies who are starting their own ventures are not comfortable around taxation and legal issues. So CA services they prefer. So CA can play a very vital role in these services. These are some of the websites. Startupindia.com, this is government website from which I have taken the statistics and various data. Then Your Story is itself a startup, and it provides the various stories of successful startups and how they raise the funds, and how new startups coming up, what technology they are providing, etc. Ink42.com is another website which is provide daily updates about the startups. Then Know Your Startups, it's also a website for the startup from which you get various information about the startups, the new ideas, and what is going on in the field of startups. Okay, this is the theory part of the startup. Okay, there is one question, Sumit Jain. If a person want to start a startup, then at first registration is mandatory as DPIIT. If you want to take the benefit of the government, then it is necessary. But you can first you can validate your idea, make the prototype, and then you can register. Because after registration till 10 years, you have time to get the benefits. So for taking benefits, registration is mandatory. So if you build your initial product, initial team, make entity, and then go for registration to DPIIT. Okay, this is theory part, and now I have some interesting stories to share with you. You can ask your question in question answers. I will take it one by one. And now I am going to share my another PPT. These are few success stories. As I said, startup previously every children or is dreaming for a fairy tale. Now every youth or student who know about the startups or OYO or Ola or Uber is dreaming about the startups they are going to start, how it is exciting. And there is one interesting web series on the Netflix regarding startups. It has 16 episodes, but it has beautifully depicted how the startup works and how it grows and what are various parts of the ecosystem. I definitely recommend it to watch who want to know more about the startups. Okay, Oyo. You must having lived in Oyo many times because it provides most affordable facility, and we are assured that the facilities provided are unanimous in all the facilities of Oyo. But it is started by Ritesh Agarwal, and he is the dream man for money person who have started, because it is unicorn now. It is started in 2013. The interesting story is Ritesh Agarwal is from Orissa, a very small town. For his graduation, he came to Delhi, and he are having idea about the affordable hotels. So he started his business in 2012 with Oracle Stays, and with his idea, he get scholarship from the Thiel, which is of $1 lakh. That is, and with that, he came back to India and make some improvement in his previous startup and relaunch it as Oyo. The Oyo is interesting story is that at that time there was another startup also. They are also providing the same services. Then what Ritesh do is that he make agreement with many hotels in selected areas. These areas are selected by doing a deep study, and he is not taking full hotel on rent with agreement. He is taking only room in all hotels in that area, and his competitor take only few hotels and take full hotels. So he has as he has taken selected rooms from the hotels, and the condition is that hotel must display Oyo nameplate on their hotels. So when people came from airport, they can see the Oyo names on each and every hotels, and the other hotel is having selected hotels only. So it gets advantage, and people assume that Oyo is doing a very good business. It has having so much of hotels, and it gets benefit. Another is Paytm. Everyone using services of Paytm or not, but its tune is very Paytm karo. Remembers everyone. This is founded in 2010 by Vijay Sharma. Initial days, it is a digital folder platform. Fintech services are provided, but during demonetization in 2017, the user base is increased from 125 million to 185 million. And now people from any rural area is using Paytm for making payment or receiving payment. Flipkart, Sachin Bansal and Bini Bansal. Flipkart is e-commerce platform. It grows very fast. It provides platforms for the trading goods and services, and it is providing platform for transport, delivering, payment gateway, etc. Initially, it has only 20 shipments in the first year of its operation. 2007 to 2018, over the 11 years, they have patience, they have scaled up their startup, and then after selling it to Walmart, they have very good amount. And with that, they have started another startup, Udaan, which is also now unicorn. Swiggy. In 2014, Mr. Nandan Reddy, Mr. Rahul Jamini, and Sri Harsha started this food tech startup. They have started it in Bangalore. Initially, they are having a tie-up with only 20 restaurants and 6 delivery executives. Now, it is having 2.1 lakh delivery executive across 300 plus cities in India. And during this lockdown, startups are have increased or grow exponentially, because during lockdown, people cannot go outside, but food is exempt from so they cannot go to hotel, but they can order food online and have it at home. So these businesses do very good business during the lockdown period. Now, Swiggy recently raised funding of $1 billion from Naspers and Tencent Holdings. Ola Cabs. Ola cabs are started in 2010 by Bhavish Agarwal and Ankit Bhatti. This is started when one of its founder has traveling from Bangalore to Mandipur, and during the travel he had some negotiation deal with failed negotiation deal with the driver. So driver dropping out in between, and he is very suffered. And he saw that this problem is faced by society. So he IIT graduates. So he decided to bring the solution for this problem and started Ola, where he has provided platform, and the vehicle owners are registered on the platform. They are providing services, and with Google Maps, GPS system, the driver and the person can track the way, the route they are going, and whether they are charging too fare or not. And it is benefited, the people accepted it very and loved these services. Book My Show. It is founded in 1999 by Ashish Hemrajani, Parikshit Da, and Rajesh. It is online ticket booking platform. It is one-stop platform to book online tickets, especially for movies. It provides wide choices to the viewers to select the movies at their choices. As it is an online platform, they can choose book tickets advance. They can book preferred seats, and so this services is loved by the people. The platform currently provides services across the 5 countries with over 30 million customers. And the initial capital investment was just 25,000. Other is MakeMyTrip.com. This is started in 2000 by Deep Karla. It is online travel company that provides online services like travel packages, hotels, flights, rail, bus tickets, etc. to the clients. It is founded by IIM alumni Deep Karla. The success of Make My Trip has been recognized not only nationally but internationally, as company was listed in NASDAQ. And it is initially designed to take care of NRI people to make their trips or make their arrival in India, outside India. Byju's. It is number of 1 unicorn in India now. And it has taken junior hat startup. It is started by Baiju Ravindra in 2008. Just like he's providing online learning, online classes to his students, and his teaching is so good that people all over from not his town, but the students from the other cities also want to learn from him. So this platform grows very fast, and now it is providing services like for coaching for competitive exams also, like ISCAT, GRE, etc. It has 35 million users in app with 2.4 million paid subscribers. PharmEasy. In each and every sector, what people use or what we are using on daily basis, there is a startup. PharmEasy is founded in 2015 by Dharmil Seth and Dhaval Shah Nikhil. Its annual valuation is 16.4 million. It is online pharmaceutical delivery platform that assists by delivering required medicine and diagnosis test reports to the patients. It currently functions across 8 cities in India, including Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad, Kolkata, Jaipur, Delhi, etc. It is provide shopping of medicine affordable, and as we know, the same medicine of different companies are having different prices. So through this app, you can purchase the medicine of company whichever you want, and you can compare the prices also, and you can take the medicine, and it is home delivery. So you can people who require medication regularly, they can order their medicines, and they are providing handsome discounts also. InstaMojo. During lockdown, I think this platform is very much known to the people because they are purchased very much online webinars, and services. And for that, InstaMojo is providing platform for the payment gateway. It has started in 2012. It is fintech software and services. It is an on-demand payment startup, and it is providing payment links, allowing companies and to get started with online payment collection quickly. After making payment, the person get receipts on its mail, and the company which are using its services is having ready with the data who are taken purchases the services, etc. InstaMojo is customers base having 12 million plus. Nykaa.com, it is e-commerce platform. Many youngsters have purchased from Nykaa because they are in fashion and accessories. It is started in 2012 by Falguni Nair, and its market valuation is $750 million. It provides a product review, beauty videos, expert articles, and UBT magazines also. Nykaa goods are authentically purchased directly from Startup Stories menu. From the Sanskrit word Nykaa, it means actresses or a spotlight. It is this startup is started by a women entrepreneur. Cars24, another interesting startup which provides platform to sell the second-hand cars. It is having 100 offline stores which provides facility to evaluate the existing cars. Now the startups by the CAs. As I said, CAs, while doing practice, they can not directly invest in the startups, but their families can invest in these startups. But some of the CAs, instead of doing regular traditional practice, they have started their own startups. Like CA BM Krishnan, founder of Chuchu TV. It is a YouTube channel, and with more than 10 million subscribers. Then GCEC, first ever commerce college that integrates learning, practical experience, etc. for BCom and other courses. Zoomcar Bikes. This is premium motorcycle rental company which offers rentals of Harley Davidson, Trump, Royal Enfield motorcycle, etc. CA Rashmi, founder of Visheshagya Tax and Legal Services. It is one-stop e-commerce portal in the taxation, legal, and accounting services. Now the crowdfunding platform Dream Wallet. It raises fund for social, charity, movies, music, startups, environment, sports, etc. Then Central Mind. This startup is working for the home product, that is building material, flooring, lighting, hardware, doors, windows, etc. Life Care recently raised 1 million funding. It is Jaipur-based subscription pharmacy which focuses on chronic illness. These are some of the startups by CAs. As I said, some of the examples who are earning digitally or doing digitally, CA Rachana Rande and the young CA Alina Rais. This is my favorite. Now, who is next? Okay, name of that series, it is Startup. It is 16 episode series, and it is very interesting. It is Korean series. Is it necessary to have new idea, or we can start an existing business as a startup? For example, starting a toothpaste manufacturing business. I think toothpaste manufacturing business cannot be a startup. How you can going to scale up? Because there is a limitation. If you are providing platform for toothpaste manufacturing companies, that is, you are providing platform for toothpaste manufacturing companies all over India, who is manufacturing toothpaste will sell toothpaste from your platform. And then who is going to purchase? It may be businessman who will purchase in bulk quantities, or it may be individual who want to purchase a single toothpaste. These are the business and revenue models you have to work on. then you can start up with toothpaste manufacturing also. The existing business, if there is an existing startup, you can start your company. If you have process innovation in that, you can start your own startup in that area also. Because Airbnb is existing startup working in the hotel, but Oyo came with the same concept, but it has started its process. It has made its process innovation, and so it get the benefit of the innovative process. And accordingly, if it suits the area you live, then it can make profit and be successful in that area. Okay, Section 80 ISC talks about private limited and LLP and does not talk about registered partnership. Yes, it is true. For getting benefit of Section 80 ISC, you must be registered as a private limited company and LLP. There is a gap in synchronization of various schemes and various government departments. Okay, then what is another question? Okay, please tell us. I answered this question. Web series. It is startup Korean web series, 16 episodes. Okay, anything? So I suggest to the students watching this webinar live that you keep searching for or visit the various startups in your area, visit various incubation centers, various accelerators, attend the pitch deck programs. So you get live experience of the how ideas are coming, or how people are pitching their ideas, how investors ask the questions, how startup founders react to these questions. So you from that you can if you can get, if you convince with the idea, you can be the co-founder for that idea, or you can provide the services to that startup. You can provide funding for that. You can get funding for that startup. So keep visiting these places. Pune University is having incubation center. They are having facilities of co-working space. Co-working space that is for meager amount. They are providing facility to sit for you and providing facility of internet. Why Silicon Valley is so successful? Because in every restaurant or wherever you go, you can find the people speaking about the startups, speaking about the ideas, speaking about the innovation, speaking about the funding. And from that, you can get the idea about the your product, or they get co-founder there itself. That's why Silicon Valley is such a growing very fast, because the ecosystem is so strong there. Silicon Valley. Okay, is DPIIT approval is only requirement, or state government approval is also required? No. DPIIT registration is only suffice the purpose. If you are registered with DPIIT, then you can take the benefit of the all schemes of the government. Okay, there is also another interesting story of startup. It is of Israel. Israel has built an artificial ecosystem. It is, as know, Israel is very regressive about innovation. There is majority citizens compulsory have to do military training. And military training, they are providing, developing leadership among the people. And this training is provided to teenagers. So they are very much adaptive to the techniques and leadership. They grasp very fast the teaching and techniques provided by the system. And when they complete their training in the military and they come in the society, they are equipped with all the leadership qualities. They are given training for the innovation, for the coding, and accordingly, then when they come, they start with new startups, and they are expert in coding. So people all over the world look for the co-founders in the Israel, because it has developed a very good ecosystem in Israel. The government is taking efforts so that they are providing, startups are providing not services to customer, but these startups are for the providing services to the other startups. They are creating platforms for the startups. So startups which require software services or innovation or coding or cloud services, etc. These startups are the customers of the startups from the Israel. It is a very vast area. Even each topic, like funding also, we can take for 2 to 3 hours, how different type of funding is necessary, or how you can decide the product market fit, how you can validate your idea. Is your idea successful or not? I myself visited to the incubation center available at the Satara Engineering College or Science College. They have provided facility for the startups incubation center, where the startups can sit and discuss their ideas. Many accelerator programs are available where you can register. You can go there, chat with experts in field, or chat with the people, have conversation with the people who want to start the startups and having ideas. So if anyone want to start a startup, they can register for these acceleration programs. It is very interesting. You can get their businesses also if you communicate with them and impress them with you, what services you are going to offer, or what is their problem, what is their requirement. And if you provide them solution, then they will be your customers. And if vice versa, if you are convinced with their ideas, then you can be their co-founder, and or you can invest in these startups and be the part of the startup. Okay, any other question? Okay, there is another interesting story. Are you creating a need? Are you serving a need or creating a new one? As someone said that the startup should provide a new services or new product, or they can work with the existing product. Then this is story, or this is answer to them. Steve Jobs famously stated once that Apple does not serve the market, it creates the one. And rightly so, there was no market for touchscreen based smartphone until Apple iPhone was launched, and it created the entire new market which was not there and was not explored. Today, the entire mobile phone industry is of touchscreen based smartphone market. Steve Ballmer, then CEO of Microsoft, who later acquired Nokia mobile phone business, didn't see this coming. Microsoft, Nokia, and BlackBerry together then were the market leaders who were manufacturing and selling smartphone and still had keypads. But when Apple phone came and they did not invent or pivot to the new product, they throw out of the market. Samsung instead never created any market. It competed with the Nokia, Ericsson, Motorola, Microsoft, BlackBerry. Microsoft, Nokia, BlackBerry together were the market leaders. But Samsung is not creating any new market, but it is competing with the existing market. But unlike Nokia and Microsoft, it pivoted fast, and it brings Microsoft, it brings touchscreen phone in the market. So it is still in the market, and Nokia and Microsoft are out of the market. Timing is critical. Samsung was flexible enough to pivot. Also take the example of the Facebook. Facebook, which was latecomer to the online social networking sector, it has plenty of time to learn from the mistakes and shortfalls of its preceders and then market leaders such as MySpace, Friendster, Bebo, Classmates, etc. These were already prevailing in the market. Facebook came later, but you didn't remember this preceder because the Facebook have made innovations, picked up providing many new facilities and features, easy access, and it provided with the pictures. You can post pictures on the Facebook. So Facebook served better in the market. Then came Instagram, which adopted the same strategy and picked up the feature that Facebook was not very much keen on, but it had demand for, that is photo sharing with the filters. Now Instagram is the buzz, because Instagram allow you to share pictures with the filters and Facebook is not having that picture. So though Facebook and Instagram both are social networking sites, Instagram has made its own space in social media networking. Then TikTok brings a new trend. It allows filters in the videos, but due to China, due to this pandemic, we have banned TikTok and it is out of Indian market. This may be one of the reasons for the failure of startup, because as government banned cryptocurrency, startups working with the cryptocurrencies have to shut down their business in the startup business in India, and they have lost their investment in India.
Ma'am, I think there is one question.
Yeah, how much time it take to get startup registration? As per our understanding, we first have to take startup registration and then we have to apply for tax exemption. Yes, we have to take startup registration from DTIIT and also from income tax department. There is registration procedure separately. For taking tax exemption from income tax department, you have to register with department separately, and it takes time. This is we say failure of our government, that it is talking much about the startup ecosystem, that it is promoting startup. It wants to make the business ease of doing businesses in India, but it cannot synchronize all these departments and provide one-stop solution to the startups. If the government provides it, then startup will grow more faster and get the benefits as promised by government. Okay, if you are not having questions, you can type your feedbacks also in chat box. So the Pune branch will arrange further session for that topic.
Ma'am, I think so. Those were the only questions that came from the members' side.
Okay. So I think I have covered the basic topics and it is very interesting. Actually, I want to share that for the startup or this new technology and digitization and internet have provided facilities so that from uh, anywhere in India, you can provide services and you can build your expert, you can learn new things. As I said, I am from Vai. It is a very small place in Satara district, from where I can get all this information from the internet. From YouTube, there are various startup on YouTube. Also, there are very nice videos on startups regarding how they are sharing experiences of various startups, how these what problems they faced, how they face these problems, how they overcome these challenges, and what new areas are available for startups. For that purpose, what skills are required. This all information is available on internet and specifically on YouTube.
Anuradha ma'am, I think you wish to ask some query. I have unmuted you. You can talk.
Hello.
No, she got disconnected, ma'am, I think.
Actually, our institute also has started incubation center. Uh, while searching on YouTube, I got two videos of inauguration of incubation center by our institute. Though it is not working full-fledged, but they have initiated in this field, and members should take benefit of these centers. I think in our curriculum also they will make some changes and include the skills required for this type of businesses. Because for making economy big, the manufacturing sectors has very much limitations, but service sector is open and whole world is our market in that sector. In India, with our own facilities, you are providing to the services all over world and bringing foreign currency for our country.
Ma'am, are you done or anything else from your side? Because I don't think so there are any further questions.
Okay. I think for the initial introduction of the startup and ecosystem, this is sufficient.
Ma'am, should we stop over here? There are a lot of feedbacks coming in for a wonderful session that you have conducted today. And I, on behalf of Pune branch, would like to thank you for sparing out your valuable time, ma'am, on this particular topic. And literally, it was like you were sharing various statistics, various facts, as well as success stories, which was really, I think, that is something which is helpful for all of us. And all the webinars in the series have been continuously giving various valuable inputs to the members. We still have three sessions left in this series. Tomorrow onwards, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we have three more sessions. Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you so much, members. Ma'am, if you would like to say anything, otherwise we can conclude the session.
Actually, I'm very much thankful to the Pune branch for giving me opportunities. And for young CA members, I have to only say that there are for traditional practice for GST returns, these startups are giving tough competition to the CAs, because for income tax filing, for GST return, for project report, these startups are providing facilities at very low price, and you have to not compete with the human, you have to compete with computer for that purpose.
Technology with robots, in fact.
Yeah. So if you uh, want to change, then you have to pivot from existing traditional practices to these new practices. which are available with the technology, with the innovation. In CA field also, you have to bring innovation, then only you can excel and sustain. Thank you very much for giving me opportunity.
Thank you, ma'am. With this, we conclude the session. Thank you.
Thank you.